Hello, hello. Happy 2026 and welcome back to Field Guide. We got a few of our people here between Abby, Chris, and myself from a few different pods, but I think the thing that brings us together, at least for today, is we all love movies and seen movies, talking movies, and it was a good year of movies. And so we wanted to do today is give each of our top fives for the year movies, do some fun categories, and then just kind of ultimately end up with like a Field Guide consolidated list of top movies. We'll see kind of how that ends up because I'm excited to see how much overlap we each have. We haven't shared it with each other yet.
I feel like we'll have a decent amount of overlap, but I don't want to speak for others. I mean, maybe there's some big fans of Avatar. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's go,
maybe,
Avatar.
Maybe one of you guys are.
Stand up.
I'll keep sitting down. But yeah, Abby, you probably saw the most movies out of us three, if I had to guess this year. What was your thoughts, just like overall, on 2025 in movies?
You know, I think that 2025 was actually a total heater. Like, people kept talking about last year being weak, and I was like, no, it wasn't that bad. And then, like, this year's, like, so gas, so strong. It's, like, so many 8 out of 10s and up that I'm like, nah, this was the heavy hitter. Like, having so many, like, great directors just, like, finally get to drop their, like, 3-hour masterpieces, and it's just like, man, great year.
You weren't satisfied with like the Megalopolis from last year in like the 3-hour masterpiece category?
Well, so oddly enough, I like never rewatch movies, and that's the movie that I've seen the most within the past like 4 years. I watched it 4 times in 1 year, so it was a hard. Yeah, there was some competition, but.
Did you check out Megadoc? I understand it was just about the making of Megalopolis, but I didn't check it.
I've been waiting for the crew that I've seen it with 4 times. We're gonna all sit down and watch it together. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Ross, what about you? How did it compare to past movie years? Were you in the theaters more? Were you streaming more? What was your movie year like?
Yeah, I'll make an excuse to go to the theaters no matter what. I think I saw like 30-ish movies probably this year in theaters, which isn't a ton. It's more than most, obviously, but this year was like the year of surprises to me, in a good way. A lot of the movies I was most anticipating this year were like your big blockbuster movies that more or less disappointed me. And like Mickey 17 was like a huge one for me. I had the book. I love Bong Joon-ho, and then that one was kind of just I was really excited for it. But the movies that are on the top of my list, I mean, a lot of them were not nearly thought of prior to this year, I think. So
cool.
I was happily surprised most of this year, which to me means it's a good year for movies.
That's a ton of fun. Yeah, I think I echo y'all's thoughts. I thought it was a great year. It was one of the years I started going to the theater the most compared to other years. And I feel like anytime you're seeing a lot of movies in theaters as opposed to watching them on any other, laptop or TV at home, whatever, just kind of elevates a lot of it. It'll turn a 3.5 movie into a 4-star movie or a 2.5-star movie into a 3-star movie because you're like, you had fun at the theaters, had some popcorn or something. But I think it was a really fun year overall. Abby, what was your most memorable theater going experience?
The Minecraft movie, 100%.
Did you get the popcorn and toss it?
No, I wasn't an absolute menace, thank God. But there was a moment in the movie where I was laughing so hard, the thought hit me, I don't think I'm ever gonna stop laughing, and I was afraid.
I don't remember the last time.
I never saw Minecraft, unfortunately. So
no, good for you. You're actually like not paying for the system, and I commend you. Now I'm like, oh shit, Warner Bros is gonna do this again because we funded them, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, what is the next? I mean, when is the Fortnite movie coming out? That's got to be a thing at some point, right?
So soon.
Yeah.
I wish it was sooner. Whatever it is, we're getting a lot of like legacy sequels soon. Like I think Shrek 5 is coming out.
Yeah,
we'll probably get Zootopia 3 soon. Not that any of those will be bad movies, but it's just like
some of them will.
I can promise Minecraft
you that.
2, Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Which
Five Nights at Freddy's 3 probably soon.
It has to be
100%.
Though, dude, nothing's gonna come out quicker than this 28 years later sequel to 28 years later.
Darwin Temple. Yeah.
Crazy.
Like 2 weeks after the last one.
I don't understand how it's happened. But I think, Abby, you had said it was a different director, right?
Yeah, so Danny Boyle has done all of them, and then they're switching to Nia DaCosta for this one. So I'm wondering like if any of the team from the first ones carry over. I think Alex Garland, who
Gotta
directed
be
like
part of it.
Warfare and Ex Machina, etc. I think he's still on the writing team for this one. So I think they are having like overlap, but it is a crazy turnover for sure.
It's like the Lord of the Rings movies, where they must have recorded on at least on set in similar. They couldn't have left that much.
For the Hobbit movies, you're saying?
Or also the Lord of the Rings. I mean,
yeah.
they recorded them all like kind of back to back,
bang,
and then
100%.
and we're editing and had second crew and third crew going on. Yeah, whole thing.
I thought you meant like Lord of the Rings to the Hobbit movies and the crew switch over, and I was like, yeah, that didn't work too well.
Oh no, fair. I'm more saying like they were on set and
Yes.
churning out the stuff. Okay, let's get into it. We are each going to share our movies kind of one at a time, 5 through 2. We'll do honorable mentions, then we'll each share our kind of number 1 movie.
Okay.
And Rossi, you want to get us started with your number 5?
Okay. I feel like this will probably be in everybody's top 5. Maybe this is lower than y'all, but I have Sinners at number 5. I only saw this once, and I really do want to watch it again. I thought Michael B. Jordan obviously was amazing, blew me away. I was shocked that he was even capable of that. I kind of knew what I was going into with this movie, but the people I was with had no idea, so it was kind of cool to experience that with them. We'll talk more about this movie later, I would imagine, so I don't want to get too deep into it, but Sinners is my number 5.
Love it. What did the people you were going to see it with, did they know vampires were coming?
No, they knew it was a horror movie of sorts, but I think like the first half of the movie that has like very minimal, if any, horror elements at all, and then the switch when they're at that guy's house, and it kind of makes that reveal. They didn't know at all, so that was kind of cool. The music was unreal. Obviously, the one scene we'll probably talk about later again. Pretty mind-blowing stuff from Coogler. So
I had some friends live in Colorado Springs that saw Sinners, and they knew it was a vampire movie, but they didn't know any like of the vampire tropes,
lore?
Like that you can't go through the door,
yes.
that you can't be seen in the sun, garlic. And so they were like, well, why are they sitting at the doors for so long?
Yeah, I love that they leaned into it so much. That was the best. Oh, I will say this. The funniest part of that whole experience, I didn't even think about this. My wife, maybe halfway through the movie, was like, which one's Michael B. Jordan? And I'm like, wait, they both are.
Wait, fire.
So that's how
Have you
good
seen,
he was.
Yeah,
She thought
have
it
you
was
seen The
gonna be-
Parent Trap?
That, ironically enough, is like her favorite movie ever. So
There you
it was very, very funny to be there for that revelation.
That's good. Yeah, a lot of fun parts that movie. A lot of fun parts. Abby?
My number 5? Yes, sir. So my number 5 is No Other Choice. I was debating, and I'll say the other one in honorable mentions, but I got lucky, and so living close to Denver, there's the Denver Film Festival, and the one movie that I was like, I want to snipe tickets for was No Other Choice, and didn't work out. It was sold out. I was like immediately, and I was like, God, that's such a bummer, but that's okay. And it turned out that the day that they were screening it, I was already going to go up to Denver for a different movie that kind of like timeline worked up, and I was like, man, it's probably going to be worth it to like just look at standby info just in case. And all of a sudden they open up the window to buy.
Wow.
So
I've got a spot reserved for this movie. I think I've already convinced myself it's gonna be in my top 5 just because I know it will be.
Yeah.
But I don't think it comes by me until like end of the month, which sucks, but still
Dang.
pre-Oscars.
Yeah, so it was really cool being crammed into like the room with like everybody. Like obviously like energy is super high, everybody's really engaged, everyone's laughing. The only downer for me is that I was back row and the seats weren't tiered. And I'm 5'3", so I had to crane my neck the whole movie just to read the subtitles.
Brutal.
Which like definitely dampened it a little bit, but I mean it was absolutely electric, and Park Chan-wook is just kind of an all-timer. And I think what's super cool is over the past like his whole filmography, he makes some of the most tense, fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
And then he goes with this one, he's like, and what if I get a little funny with it? And you notice how like the beats and like tension can apply to comedy, and he's just so good at getting a reaction out of his audience. And so I thought it was hilarious, and I was laughing, and I just had an absolute blast with it start to finish.
Will this have any similar? I mean, obviously, Parasite is what it is. Another Korean movie, of course, but like that kind of took over. Like everybody was watching that movie. It wasn't more of like an artsy film, I guess. Do you think this has like that ability to surpass like the normie cinema? I don't know how to describe that. You know what I'm saying though? Like, will people see this? The common man, per se?
I fear that the common man won't see it, not because it's not accessible.
Yeah.
And like I think that it would have to ride on like people knowing Old Boy and people knowing
True.
that this is the guy who did Old Boy.
Yeah.
And it's being marketed, but I don't know if it's being marketed like enough to like make that like gateway through. And I think because No Other Choice is on the outskirts of the awards conversation at this point, it doesn't have that type of boost that Parasite had. So I would love for the common man to go see it, but I do think that you have to be just kind of in the sphere a little bit to just hear about it and then have the drive. Yeah.
That's fair.
I do think it's worth it. I don't remember exactly when in the year Parasite came out, but I do think it was one of those ones that kind of, it was like word of mouth, and just built into this like phenomenon.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And I mean, again, there's a chance Parasite came out in January and this point's kind of moot, but it feels like No Other Choice is coming out a little late in the, well, I guess late in the award season year, that it's going to get missed by a lot of people. I think there's more limited release. But this is not on my list, but I'm disappointed that it feels like a lot of people will not be able to see it, or at least it will be, you have to really seek it out, which is sometimes the barrier for people, and I get it. Because there's a lot of really, I think, like Abby said, it's really funny. The main performance is really strong. There's a lot of really cool cinematography things that happen that...
Dude.
I've been teased that like one scene in the movie is like the best scene of the year, probably, if not like
let's go.
in a long time. So it's like, I don't want to read too much about this or listen to it. I'm skipping reviews I see online. I don't want to know anything about it.
There's some really fun filmmaking tricks that are used. There are parts of it that remind me of one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Speed Racer. And if you put the movies next to each other, it wouldn't. You would not understand. They look completely different, but in that there are some like really cool shot techniques that are used like for explicit storytelling purposes that I think really are fun. I can't be too specific because I don't want to spoil it too much for Rossi. But
does this also have like a monkey sidekick, or you don't want to spoil that either?
I can spoil it. Doesn't. Anytime I can bring a Speed Racer, I will. So
I don't blame you. That's your thing.
That's my thing.
Lean into it.
Awesome. It's a good 5. Okay, my number 5 was, speaking to your year of surprises, Ross. This was the movie that probably surprised me the most, which was Roof Man. And I went and saw this after work at a downtown theater, just kind of because I was like, I had the Regal Pass and I had a free like late afternoon, and I could. And it, the poster is, it's like Channing Tatum with like a big stuffed animal on his head, and it looks kind of silly. And I was like, yeah, why not? What's the worst that can happen? I'll laugh a little bit. And this was one of the like warmest, most sympathetic, just like kind movies that I saw this year, and also wasn't like saccharine or kind of too sweet. Both performances at the heart of the movie, Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst, are really, really good. Channing Tatum is okay. The very first scene is Roof Man is about a guy who starts a life of crime, but he doesn't really want to hurt anybody. That's kind of the whole ethos of the movie and his character.
Dream right there.
The dream. Because things have happened to him and he really cares about his family and he kind of wants to like provide for them, and then he ends up caring about Kirsten Dunst's family and wants to kind of be a good father figure for them. And he keeps making these like silly decisions. Silly is not the right word, but decisions that the average person wouldn't make, but we also kind of understand it. And the movie's very sympathetic about that. When he's in the Toys R Us, which is kind of where he goes to like hide when he is on the lam, that is just really fun stuff. Like when you're figuring out how is he going to live here, what's he going to eat, how's he going to shower, like all that stuff really works. Then once he kind of meets Kirsten Dunst and her family, that's when the movie elevated itself a lot for me from like, oh, this is like a fun we watched Channing Tatum in the Toys R Us do kind of funny things and be on this kind of adventure movie to like, this is a very heartwarming movie that really charmed me. Yeah, all of their interactions I think are beautiful. This reminds me of one of my favorite movies of all time called Cha Cha Real Smooth, where there's kind of this like found family that shouldn't really exist story at play. And I think the movie does that really well. So definitely the movie that surprised me the most. I think it was really underseen. I think it was probably marketed poorly.
Yeah.
But it's by a director who has done a lot of very serious, very dramatic films in the past. So maybe they could have leaned into that a little bit more, because it is not a straight comedy, but it's very much like a mature drama with some comedic elements.
Yeah, this is one I missed. I wanted to see it. I mean, the Toys R Us nostalgia alone was like tempting for me, and I just never got a chance to watch this. And what was the Aronofsky movie with Austin Butler?
Caught Stealing.
Those two I really wanted to see, and I thought I'd like them both a lot, and this kind of reciprocates that thought. But I will see it, just haven't seen it yet.
Abby, have you checked this one out?
I really wanted to, because you know what, Matt? I knew it was going to be in your 5. And I was like, I should watch it. And it was like, also people were like, this is going to be the best airplane movie. And I was like, sick, I'm going to be on the plane. And then I had to get like into Survivor, and it ruined it.
That doesn't seem like an airplane movie at all to me. I don't know.
I think it marketed itself as, I
Really?
get like, it marketed itself as like a zany kind of comedy where Channing Tatum, the misadventures of Channing Tatum in Toys R Us, but
yeah,
it's not that, but it's a lot more than that, which I think is why it took it to the top 5 for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
You want me to go 4, or are you going 4 on a little wraparound?
Do it. We won't snake this. We'll go.
Okay. I'm gonna stick in the same genre as Sinners. I'm gonna go Weapons at 4.
Yeah.
Fire.
Maybe Sinners was like a better made movie, but Weapons I had a lot more fun with, I think. It was a little bit more quick. It was hilarious. The end scene alone was like so over the top, but so perfect in so many ways to me.
I cannot believe it.
Amy Madigan, shout out her. She just won, Critics' Choice Award. I don't know if that means anything, but I love that she's getting that recognition. I thought Brolin was awesome, and I mean, he's awesome in everything. I thought... what's her name? Julie Garner. She was great. I don't know. Yeah. I love this movie. There was some weird stuff that I was like, I'm just not even gonna think about that. The weird like AK-47 in the sky or whatever that was, AR-15. Maybe there was some symbolism there, but I didn't want to look into that too much. I loved it. It was like, this was one of those surprise movies again. Had no idea that it was like a fairy tale basically. But I had so much fun with this movie. The principal was awesome. The little the 7 hot dogs on the tray was like a good shout out to
instant iconic
old YouTube videos. So just the fact that he was making this movie, being a fan of some of their old sketch videos back in the day, was kind of like a weird full circle moment for me too. So Weapons is my number 4.
This whole movie, they were cooking with gas. Like it was funny and scary, and
the
such
drug
a fun
addict.
time.
I forgot what his name was, but like,
Bro,
holy crap! When he was stabbing in the face with the needle.
The needles.
Like, doing the multiple perspectives was awesome. The one scene that really stood out for me in this was when she's like in her car outside of the house for the first time waiting, and you see like the scissors come like through the back seat to like snip her little lock of hair. Like that might have been my favorite scene of the movie. But no, I rewatched this one a couple times now that it's streaming, so I loved this movie.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think my most memorable like few minutes in a movie theater this year were, I saw Weapons in IMAX, and that exact scene where she kind of gets in the back of the car and snips the hair. It starts and she like the zombie lady or whatever you want to call it, the possessed lady, cannot get into the car, and so you kind of like let your guard down, and then you hear the rear door just open. I've never heard that many people gasp at the same time, and everything was so quiet. That was just that was so cool.
That, and then the Josh Brolin waking up from his nightmare. What the fuck? That was iconic too. So
that was a real nightmare.
Yeah, creepy character.
Speaking of rewatchables, Abby, did you know Grant Bean saw this 6 times in theaters?
Wait, that's so fire. Thank God. He would eat it up.
No, he was going through a list of movies he saw this year and telling me how much he hated like every single movie, and then he was like, "Oh, I saw Weapons
did.
6 times."
6 times? I don't think I've seen anything 6 times in the theaters.
That's crazy.
I maybe
Like,
saw The Greatest
3 is my
Showman
max.
like
maybe.
4 times.
That's so
Yeah,
honest,
that's
Matt. That's
crazy.
so honest.
My cousin saw Nemo like 6 times when that came out when we were kids. I remember that, and I was like, I didn't think that record could be beat.
I did hit Greta Gerwig's Little Women 3 times in 1 week. That's the
Wow.
closest I've gotten.
Who
It was
was the-
girlhood, baby.
Captain Marvel guy who saw like Captain Marvel like 100 times. Remember that story? That was crazy.
That's a
Oh,
fixation.
man.
Yes, exactly.
If only we could all be fixated to something like that, but
Please.
alas. Abby, you want to keep rolling?
Yeah. Okay, so on a completely different note than weapons, my number 4 was Sorry Baby, actually. That is
Oh.
the movie that won Sundance, and I think we're seeing a pattern and a trend that I'm actually really, really into of people writing and directing and starring in their directorial debut. And I think the reason why it's so strong, specifically in Sorry Baby, is a lot of times when you're writing comedy, you can write something that's really funny, but if it's delivered wrong, then
Don't
it
work.
just doesn't hit. And so when you're dealing with something as serious as Sorry Baby but wanting to add comedy, you're doing this crazy like tightrope walk of tone that Eva Victor, having like writing it, directing it, and starring it, she's just like absolutely electric and hilarious in everything she does. Like every joke is so funny, it lands so well, and it like disarms you, and it just feels so earnest and so real. And I mean, I saw this with Matt's wife and our buddy Todd, and we like just laughed and cried in the movie theater, and it was just such a sweet night.
I love
and
that.
Matt wasn't there.
I didn't make that
No,
one.
we didn't want him there.
That's fair.
I didn't make the cut. Different note, but I think Abby, what you're saying is really apt. I think Tim Robinson is also doing a similar thing where he's like, if Tim Robinson was writing a script, you kind of couldn't really put anybody else there. Like it just wouldn't really work. I think
Yep.
that's exactly what you're getting at. Is that Eva Victor had a specific vision and it's coming from her, not just like I have a vision to make this thing outside of myself, and so her starring in it. I haven't seen it, but it sounds like it elevated the movie, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it was rocking. Also, it's something that happens. This happens to me and Tot all the time. I feel like Tot I always drag to like go see like kind of an indie movie or a foreign film, and those films have like 1,000 like people who like invested in the movie. Like it's not just Warner Bros. So in the title sequence before the movie starts, there's like 1,000 of those mini companies like opening shots,
Yeah.
and we always get baited and we think that it's the opening shot of the movie. And then all of a sudden, like, so-and-so productions
Touchstone,
go
whatever,
past.
yeah.
And it's like, it makes us like weep because it's like we think the movie started and we just like, oh, and it's another title card. Oh, and it's another title card. And Sorry Baby, like it happened for both of us. We're just silent. And then it like cuts and we're like, we thought that was the start of the movie. And it was really funny.
I want to do a ranking of those opening title cards because so many of them
Yeah.
they hit.
That's
but some
a
of them
good
are just Like, I
idea.
don't want to see this again. I don't want to see Blumhouse necessarily. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
fine.
like Neons.
Neon's
Yeah,
the
Neon's
best,
is cool.
I think.
How much do you think you guys? How much would you have to invest to get a title card? Like $10,000? Is that going to get you on there?
Oh, I don't know.
Probably
I'm sure
not.
there is a number, but well, I guess maybe based on the movie.
Maybe a percentage. Like,
Yeah,
could we
like-
scrounge together like $100 and get a title card?
For some movies, probably.
That's crazy.
Why not?
I'm just saying. You got to Drew
No,
Zay.
that's
my
the
name
new niche of like
Yeah.
something that we've supplied for the movie that
Yeah.
makes them have to put
Our name
at
on
the
it.
beginning.
What do we do that no one else does?
Not a
Man.
lot.
To figure that out.
Not a lot. I haven't seen this movie either. I know
Fair
about
enough.
it. I heard about it. Listened to reviews about it. Just never saw it. Was obviously limited release. This is another one that's on my list to see, and obviously it's
Sweet.
in your top 5. So
Abby, where does the pet performance? There is a pet, right?
Pet,
I'm
yeah,
not making
cat.
that up.
There is a cat.
How does it rank in your kind of cat rankings for the year? Because we had a few
well,
cats
it's
this
not
year.
spoil animal award later on. But
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's a
was
good
like,
point.
Hey, I'll spoil it and say it's not the cat and Sorry
Then it-
Baby.
Okay, fair.
Okay, got it.
Good, not great.
Yeah.
Cute cat shows
Have
up,
some notes.
but like it does less than the cat and caught stealing. You
Sure.
know? Yeah.
It's no Garfield movie.
No.
Alrighty, I'll do my number 4, and almost certainly this will be talked about again. And I'm gonna go through it kind of quick, but that's one battle after another.
Oh, okay.
This movie's awesome. There is just no two ways about it. It deserves any of the praise it's getting and going to continue to get. I have no qualms with it. Everything from the acting and like the writing and how big of a scope the movie takes on and how much it lands the plane in kind of all the themes that it tackles, the political themes, the kind of interpersonal father-daughter themes. The music is like it's fascinating. I still can hear the piano plinking when I go to sleep. No, it's an amazing movie. It just didn't like elevate itself in the ways that the next 3 did for me, which is why this year was so awesome. But we'll talk about it more. So that was my number 4.
Maybe we won't talk about it later. I don't know.
We're gonna talk
If we
about it
don't,
later.
then
No, we're going to talk about it later.
Oh
Cool.
yeah.
cool.
Back to me.
Yeah.
Number 3, I'm going with my boy Jesse Plemons. I'm putting Begonia at number 3.
Jesse Plim.
He was perfect. Emma Stone was amazing. I'm a Yorgos truther. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but something about his movies, and this one specifically, this is my favorite of all of his movies, I think. Just
Cool.
maybe it was the most like grounded in reality. Obviously, there was nothing super bizarre happening
Well,
based on what you believe happens in the movie.
sure.
But I don't know. It felt the most real. I saw this twice in theaters just because I wanted to rewatch it again. I've always been a Plemons guy for some reason, and this was like validation that he's legit. I thought the end was amazing. The ending scene was a little weird, but I liked it.
Is the ending scene where they're going? Spoilers
like
for
throughout
Begonia.
the world with all
Okay,
the
yeah.
people. Yeah.
I was all about that.
Scene.
Without
Yeah,
saying
that
too
almost
much.
bumped it up for me.
Yeah, I was torn up. I was like, did not see that coming. And then I saw it the second time, and I was like, okay, this worked really
I
well.
like that
for
it
this.
bookends the bees at the start. I think it's a
Yes,
perfect.
exactly.
Yeah,
So-
I'm with Abby. I think that bumped it for me as well.
It's one of those movies that it's hard to recommend that movie to people. A lot of these movies, the same way. Like I hate recommending movies to people if I don't know their taste because they're weird movies at the end of the day. I mean, this one especially, but I brought my wife. She said she liked it. I never know if she actually does, but she watched the whole movie without leaving and closing her eyes. So to me, that's a win.
To be fair, I think that this is genuinely the safest Yorgos movie to recommend.
By far, yeah.
Like by far. Like everyone who's like not really on his vibe has been like, I love Begonia. And I'm
Yeah.
like, right.
That's why, yeah, it's the least. And I don't love like the period pieces, and this was not that at all. So, no, I loved it.
This was very much a 2025 movie. There was actually
Yeah.
quite a few movies this year. Some I'll talk about in my honorable mention that were like intensely 2025, which I think is really cool. One
Yeah.
Battle After Another even strikes me as kind of like very 2025.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, or at least very 2020s.
Yeah.
But Begonia, I think, is another good example of that. It's a small movie, but you really needed those acting performances to work, and honestly, all 3 were pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, it's his cousin or whatever in the movie, right? Like
Yeah.
he's never acted before, and he was great. He's so
Insane.
good.
Yeah,
The little like when they were like doing the workouts, it's so funny to me. And he's like perfectly greasy. Oh, I don't know.
Dude.
one of my favorite parts was the struggle meals that they chose for them. They were like frozen tamales.
Taquitos, or, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was taquitos. You're right. Which we've all been there. So.
Oh yeah.
I really liked Emma Stone's corporate speak throughout the
Yeah.
entire movie, where I was like,
Yes.
I just like felt like prickly. Where I was
Overly
like, I feel like
using
I'm getting
diverse-
disciplined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like. You don't realize how like evil of a person she seems to be. Really, I feel like, but no, she kills it.
Speaking of hard to recommend Yorgos, one of my friends who likes movies a lot, her first date with her still boyfriend, they lasted past this, was to go see Poor Things, and they knew nothing.
Yeah.
They just knew that like Yorgos was a relatively acclaimed director.
Yeah.
They like movies, and they knew nothing.
And Emma Stone was
my
like a big
God.
name, obviously. So you're gonna, yeah,
So
that was a weird one.
yeah, that was a weird one.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch that one with my dad.
Oh, that would be an experience.
Keith did watch it, right?
No, he wasn't a trooper on that one yet. He did go through. He did watch Honora, but he didn't
Okay.
watch Poor Things.
Okay.
But pending, he really liked Begonia. Like he has been texting me about it this week, so
Okay.
I fear that it's
They go back.
coming. Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think is the if someone is getting into Yorgos after Begonia, where do they go?
Ooh,
Not Dogtooth, right, Abby?
No,
fuck.
no. I think you go
The Lobster.
The Favorite. Yeah, I'd like The Lobster the second most, but I don't know. It's still a large barrier to cross.
Yeah,
You
The
get Emma-
Favorite's definitely the safer.
Yeah,
Sure.
more wider. Yeah,
Cool.
Lobster and Killing of a Sacred Deer though I like more than
Oh
Favorite.
yeah, that's the top two for me, man.
Yeah.
Abby, how's your number 3?
My number 3. Well, I've decided to be a prisoner of the moment with my number 2. Therefore, my
Oh.
number 3 is One Battle After Another.
Okay.
100%. 100%. I watched it 3 times actually, which is crazy. I saw
Wow.
it twice in the movie theater and then once with the father when you come home for holidays because I was
that's
like,
good.
this is the dad movie.
Yeah, that's a dad movie.
My dad, I was really scared that it wasn't going to hit for him because like the first 30 he's like, this is really slow and this is really sexual, and I was like, no, trust. And then when Leo fell out of that tree, he had to pause the movie because he was wheezing so hard, which
That
is
whole part
just
is awesome.
the dream.
From
Yeah, it
from
turns
once
into
we get to the
taking.
dojo to when Leo falls out of the tree, it's some of the best filmmaking.
Yeah,
Honestly, it even starts like I think like the part like where my stomach drops and like I get like really weirdly emotional is like when Chase Infinity's in the bathroom and you
Yes.
hear the thing go off,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then she sews up and you're just like, oh my god, and the Mobamba needle drop and you're just like you're just there at the school dance, and then I don't know, like I just like really feel like she's a 16-year-old girl, she's in a high school, like she's having to flee her high school dance, and I just feel like ill, and it's perfect.
The Mo Bamba needle drop was legitimately like perfect. I don't know why that worked so well, but I did not see that coming. It was so good.
Dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, like literally, I think it's so cool. Like after watching it 3 times, it's the thing that like sticks out the most to me is how this movie is about a lot of things, and yet Paul Thomas Anderson is just addicted to telling a good story. Like at the core of it, it's really just like the fallout of this interaction that happened between an officer and a revolutionary, and the fallout from there, and he just tells a good ass story. And it's crazy to like doing like research on the film how much of it was like improvised. Like basically all of Benicio's stuff was improvised. Like they shot it with like a really small camera team so that they could just follow him around. And I think it's so cool because
Sorry.
I was just gonna say what was really cool is that he was like telling Paul, he's like, hey, if I ever match Leo's anxiety, like tell me and let's do it again, because he just wanted to be the exact opposite of that. And it's just, I think the yin and yang of that just is so cool in every scene that they're in together.
Yeah, he's sensei.
I think Sensei's got to be on the most like mood boards for people's 2026 like personality.
I mean, he's a meme now. Which
yeah.
I never would have expected a meme coming out of this movie that's like
Yeah.
everywhere now, right? With a few
I think I
beers.
heard that the road roller coaster car chase scene wasn't exactly improvised, but it wasn't like written to the script. And then once they saw the road, they kind of had the full vision for it, which
wow.
is and that was, I mean, one of the most memorable scenes in like any action movie I've ever seen. So it's-
100%.
using the natural world like that was so cool. And yeah, shout out Mobamba. How many times are we
Shout
going to
out
get to do a
Mobamba.
Mobamba needle drop?
I love him, Obama.
Dude.
Shout out.
Yeah, so good. Alrighty, number 3 for me. Call me a prisoner of the moment. Call me whatever you want, but this is going to be Marty Supreme. I think we
Okay,
all
let's go.
probably at least reserved a spot in our top 5 potentially that this would go in. And
3 years ago, I did. Yeah.
yeah. Once I heard this was happening, I was ready to crown it. No, it lives up. I think 20 minutes into the movie, I was like, yeah, this is sick. And it was sick. The Chalamet performance at the center of it, is awesome. He's on screen for so much of it, and it's just like electric. You love watching him, even though you kind of hate watching him, and that's the whole. I mean, that is the whole theme of the movie, so it works perfectly. The sports stuff is great. I'd never seen ping pong really on a movie except
Balls of Fury,
Forrest Gump, I guess.
Yeah,
And this was better. And then I think I there are some. I've heard some criticisms levied against it of like he doesn't kind of earn the ending, that we shouldn't like feel for him. The ending being seeing the child, not necessarily just beating Endo in the exhibition. And I'm mixed about it, which I think is kind of fun. Like I'm not sure if we do a 10 years later kind of coda whatever that he would be a great father or if he wouldn't. And I think the movie kind of gives us enough that he cares enough about Rachel, but he's also selfish enough that I can see it going both ways, and I think that's kind of interesting.
I prefer the ambiguity for this. Like, I don't need an epilogue necessarily for that kind of movie.
Yeah, and the whole time he's like this anti-hero that and everyone in the movie interacts with him this way, where they clearly, Gwyneth Paltrow is clearly annoyed with him the whole time, but it's still captured by him.
Taxi driver, he's like, don't screw me like this. Yeah,
exactly. The whole movie gives us this picture, and we as the audience feel this picture of this hateable but enchanting sports guy who believes in himself, and I just think the movie delivers on that like 1,000%. So really cool. Love Tyler the Creator. Love Kevin O'Leary's performance. I think it's cool that the Safdies got another 2 excellent performances out of non-actors like they did with Kevin Garnett in Uncut Gems, or that he did rather. Movie was sick. Had so much fun.
And the whole movie, the whole cast rather, is like there's like 3 actual actors in this movie, and then it's like here's George Gervin, former NBA Hall of Famer, as this guy. Did
you see the Tracy McGrady in there?
Tracy McGrady, Kemba Walker.
Yeah,
I mean his best friend Dion is like a random guy on the internet that like tried to work at Barstool and didn't make it, and then he was just told to be in these scenes with Chalamet and improv your whole thing. Like he got, I don't know if you heard the story, but like he had a video go viral where he was like talking about the Knicks, because this is like the most New York movie ever, and Josh Safdie like DM'd him and was like, hey, I want you in my next movie. Like just like awesome. A weird crafting of the most bizarre, I don't know. That's really, the more I read about it, the more I like it in that regard.
It's so cool how it all came together. The costumes are sick. Music was sick. I've been listening to the music soundtrack.
Throwing like 80s music into this 50s themed movie worked so perfectly for some reason.
Yeah.
The end needle drop. Speaking of needle drops, was perfect.
So good.
We'll talk about it later.
Cool. Sorry if I covered too much there. I just had so much fun.
That's good.
Moving on to 2 for you.
Oh, 2's for me. I have one battle at number 2.
Fire.
So the highest of you guys. I'm gonna be honest and admit I've never, that I can recall, seen a PTA movie prior to this, which is kind of crazy to think about. When I first saw the trailer for this, I was like, this does not look like a movie that I'm going to enjoy that much. Like, yeah, it's Leo, but I don't really care about this movie. And then I just started hearing, like, this movie's unreal. I saw it and was blown away. So that's, again, one of these things that I just had zero expectations going in. I never would have expected Sean Penn's performance or anything that happens with that character. And I hope he wins Best Supporting Actor. I don't know if he's still the favorite. I don't think he is. But it was, like, the perfect blend of comedy with, like, Taken, with... I don't know. I thought it was so good. We talked about it a lot already, obviously, but
it's a funny movie.
It's very funny.
Leo is so funny.
The guy picking up the daughter for the dance, like the way he's interacting with him is incredible. Just Paranoia plays so well, I think, with comedy, and it was. I mean, Leo's one of the goats for a reason, right? So, I couldn't believe it, and the whole cast, it was so good.
I need to hit a joint and watch the Battle of Algiers just to understand.
When he's just laying. Yeah. It's so funny. Oh. So I don't want to talk too much about it. We've been talking about it, but if anybody wants to hit me up and talk about this movie more, I will definitely do that.
I think a good theme for a lot of the best movies that we're talking about and from 2025 was like, if you had written out this as like a log line or like as a pitch for a movie, I doubt this would have sold or even been that good. You know, like, okay, so you have this she gives Sean
Paranoid.
Penn a boner, and then it
Yeah.
turns into this whole thing, and it's like an epic 2.5 hour movie with Mo Bamba needle drop, and it's like, same with like Sinners, or same with honestly Marty Supreme, and then you get someone at the sorry,
Get some
hearing a
haunting
hearing a
you.
buzz, yeah. And then you get someone, whether it's the director or the main actor, at like the center of it, that just really pulls it together and turns into this really cool thing. So
Yeah, I think pacing is like a big thing for me this year, especially with some of these favorite. Like this movie was what, 2.5 some hours long. Marty Supreme's 2.5 hours. Sinners is almost 3 hours, and like none of those movies feel like they're dragging at any point. And I think that's what puts these above some other movies, because some movies you're just like, all right, is this over yet? And you're like, I'm only an hour into it. So I think when I don't even have to think about that, that just puts it a tier above other movies. So I think that's true of all these movies. Weapons wasn't that long though, I don't think, was it?
I like 2
don't know.
hours.
yeah,
Yeah, so relatively quick. But these ones, yeah.
biting off a lot. Abby, number 2.
Cool. All right,
there it is.
prisoner of a moment time.
Yeah.
Marty Supreme, number
Okay,
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's the most impressive to me is if you think about the amount of things that happen in this movie, like a bathtub is gonna fall on a mobster and it's gonna injure his dog, and then he's gonna lose
Yeah.
the dog, and then he gets this girl knocked up, and then she's gonna go get like nearly shivved by one of them, and if you think of everything that happens in the movie, it like looks like the most like bloated screenplay ever, and it's like, how are they gonna get away with that? Like putting that in a movie and having people like want to be on the ride for it and like actually feel the tension of it. And I think it's blended with what you were talking about earlier, Rossi, of how many like non-actors they have in the movie,
Yeah.
and how like it just feels real in the sense of people look greasy, like they look
Exactly.
greasy
It's
and
not
gross,
Instagram
and they're
models
normal.
everywhere.
No, and it just, the movie feels icky. And actually, Gwyneth Paltrow thought that Timothy Chalamet's acne
Yes.
was real,
Yeah.
and was like, "You got to get this micro needling goop,
Uh-huh.
get this out of here." And I think that how they try to shoot it so frenetically and make everything look so honest, it like works with like every insane thing that happens. You're bought in,
Yeah.
and it was electric.
I'm so like the Safdie brothers. Like Uncut Gems was good. I don't think I liked it as much as other people. I loved Good Time. I like that more than, but this like put it. I was like, holy crap, this is so much better than both of those in my mind. Some people still have Uncut Gems, I think, higher, but for me, this blew those both out of the water.
I think Rachel trying to get a decoy dog that just happened to be the same breed as the guy's dog
Color. Yeah.
was one, clearly she's never had a dog. 2,
Yeah.
that was probably the dumbest decision made in any movie this year, and I'm counting all the horror movies I saw. Like that was so
Yeah.
it was so bad. I didn't want her to get hurt for it, but I could not believe it.
Yeah. And then Penn Jillette coming out with a shotgun. Like what? Where did that come from?
I had no idea that was him.
Fire.
Yeah. I knew he was in it somewhere. So when he came out, I was like, holy crap, there he is.
Oh wow, very
was so
fun,
cool.
very random fact. Penn Jillette. In my previous life, I was a competitive juggler, and Penn Jillette was the commentator for these juggling competitions. Like,
Wait, you
he was on the mic.
competed?
Yes, he was on the mic for him.
What?
I will caveat. I never made it to a high enough level to get on the broadcast that was commentated by Penn Jillette,
Oh, but still, the event.
but I was in the
Do you have footage of
D2.
this?
I do.
And there's the YouTube short.
Yeah.
There you go.
Co-star of, yeah, that's crazy. I never
Yeah.
expected that.
Yeah, I think he's boys with the World Juggling Federation president. So
That's so, I guess
Wow.
that world is probably very close.
yeah, I guess the world of magician and
Yeah, exactly.
and juggling,
Juggling.
and they're both based out of Vegas. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, that makes sense. That's hilarious.
so I'm like, how many is that away from Marty Supreme? Like 2,
Yeah, how many degrees of separation?
2 degrees of separation. Yeah.
Honestly, you might be in the sequel.
My 2 degrees of separation is that I get told by a lot of people that I look like Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, that's the best compliment you can have. You just need a stash.
Yeah, I know.
Abby, what are your
Meatballs,
thoughts on the Kardashians?
Oh, you know what? I think I've been mourning the Timothy Chalamet crush. He was like in like I know his birthday's December 27th. Like it was in my calendar. Like I was a real fan.
Oh, okay.
But I've been mourning that where I'm like, you know what? I believe the memes where it's like all of you bitches with tote bags and bobs thought he wanted you, and no, he wants Kylie Jenner. He's just a boy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I've accepted that reality.
Yeah, he's just such a real person. I feel like still, and like part of me wants to think it's fake, but I refuse to believe it. Like he's like on like wrestling podcasts talking about like the most niche references in WWE from like 2003. He was modding Xbox controllers when he's so real. And like
Yeah.
10
Like
years
game day
ago-
performance, or
Yeah.
I say performance appearance.
And maybe he has the best publicist of all time, and they're like feeding him things ahead of time, and he's just like such a good actor that he can play it. But like, no, I don't buy it.
I think
Yeah.
he was like, go ahead.
I was just say even the marketing campaign for this movie, if it was most other people, I probably would have been sick of it being like shoved down my throat. And I know I saw complaints about that, but like it worked for me. Him standing on top of the sphere, sweet. Keep doing it.
His persona's so funny because it's like he was the French man that all women could project on as perfect, and now we
Yeah.
had to learn he was just for the boys the whole
Just-
time.
Exactly. Yeah, you see, you get the little accent mark in the name. He sounds like this, stuck-up French kid, and it's like, no, he's just a kid from New York
100%.
who loves the Knicks.
Who loves the
love it.
Knicks and Kardashians and modded Xbox controllers?
Yeah, it was tough
No,
for
the
me to
mark-
root against him last year in the playoffs when the Pistons played the Knicks, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
The Knicks get. I mean, they're not the Lakers, but they get a lot of cool celebrities in there.
Exactly.
I saw the Nets were posting. The Brooklyn Nets was taken to posting the celebrities that come to their games, and not that I have to rank celebrities, but they weren't on the same tier as the Knicks celebrities. We'll just say that.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. Like Kevin James or something.
What's the guy that's in Grown Ups with them? The one who?
David Spade.
No. The Rob Schneider.
Schneider?
Is
Rob
that right?
Schneider.
He's a
Yeah,
Nets fan.
I'm sure he is. I'm not saying him. I'm just saying it was kind of that tier. Maybe
Yeah.
less the controversy, but
Friend of Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. What's your number
All
two,
right,
Matt?
man. I'm really
What
considering
your number
audibling
one
here.
is.
I'm really considering audibling here. I have a 1 and 2, and I've had a 1
No.
and 2 all
Go
year.
with your gut. Go with your gut.
The
All
tension.
right, I'm going with my gut.
I'm curious what your number one is now.
I'm going with my gut. My number 2 is Sinners.
Okay.
Sinners was the most fun I have ever had in a movie theater, and I am thinking about even seeing F1 in IMAX or Gravity in IMAX or like all these Avatar, like all these. Sinners was just the most fun. So they say that movies and like film is the most maximalist art form because you have the writing, the screenplay, you watch them act, you have the music, you have the visuals, and now like the computer generated visuals. Like you basically have everything that you could use to create art, and you put it all into this one amalgamation of things. And I think Sinners represented that more than any movie I maybe have ever seen, except for Speed Racer.
What a combo.
So I'll start here. I was predisposed to love Sinners. I love genre movies, and a genre movie that like is really tight and has resonant themes that and good acting. Those are like my favorite movies. The Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies. And I love horror. So I was going in knowing that I was probably going to love it, but I didn't expect what I was like getting into. The slow burn for the first hour and a half is one of the bolder choices I've seen in a film.
Yeah.
And I think it is perfect because once we kind of get the middle scene, like the piercing the veil of the music from past, present, and future, which of course was also one of the coolest scenes in any movie and one of just the more interesting. That is like you could only do that kind of scene in a movie, and I think that's really cool. But once you get past that and you're in the vampires, you already care so much about these people, and not just the people, but also what we know about their culture, what we know about their society that they've kind of built in the Mississippi Delta, and how they are, there are people coming to kill them, to persecute them, or whatever you want to call it, and they're like trying to have this one night. And then the vampire stuff is really cool. The action's great. All the acting's incredible, but
Irish Jig was amazing.
The Irish. I mean, there are so many parts of this movie that I have gone back and rewatched and just been like, man, they really did something unique here. That it was just a very singular vision. Really, yeah. Combination of the music and the visuals. It was immaculately researched. Like if you look into it, like a good example, there was the Chinese, the couple that ran the shop, and like that was, when you look into it, that was a thing in specifically this part of Mississippi, because there was some sort of
I read about that.
Yeah, there was a group of Chinese people that for some reason settled into the Mississippi Delta with the black community there. Like there's just all these small details that like it really holds up to every lens that you could put on it. And I had so much fun. The scene with, actually I'll get into this later. There's one scene that I have watched probably 50 times, and
more than the one main scene of the movie.
More than one main scene in the movie.
Okay.
Which is really cool. But this movie's beautiful. It is so much fun, and that's my number 2.
I think you put it the way you said. It's like an amalgamation of every form of art, kind of just into one thing. I think it's a good way to put it, because it kind of really explores all of those things in a really nice way. So I think I'll rewatch it. I think I'll respect it even more, and maybe I will bump it up. But
yeah, I think just because it came out earlier in the year, I think it's kind of become even underrated. Which I
was that like February or March? Was it?
It was like March or April. Yeah, I mean it was. And again, I think One Bad Afternoon is incredible. So and March Supreme is incredible. Those movies, if they kind of eclipse Sinners, I think that's fine. I think Sinners will live on very long. I think I'll probably watch this movie more than the movie I'm going to put at number 1, like in lifetime. But yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I don't track like the science of the Oscars and the awards and nominations and all that. But like, obviously this came out really early, but I still feel like it's withheld that length of time that it's like, I feel like it's still getting love, whereas other movies in similar situations might just have lost all.
No, that's fair. It's
number 2.
It's number 2 right now behind One Battle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's pretty impressive. I mean,
no, that's fair. That's a fair point. That's a very fair point. Alrighty, I think we all did our first 4.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna do just kind of a quick honorable mentions. This can be, if you want to just do like, hey, this was my number 6. That's great. If you want to do, here are 20 movies I want to tell you about, so I can show you how good my taste is. That's cool too. Rossi, you want to do it?
For me, like these 5 that I had were in a tier above quite a bit, everything else below it. And again, I haven't seen a few that might have creeped into that top 5, and that's on me. Like Wake Up Dead Man, good, but wasn't gonna touch my top 5. I will say one movie that like really surprised me. I don't know if anybody saw it. Eternity, another shout out A24 movie. I don't know why it was just so good. It was never gonna be like a top favorite movie of mine, but like I had such a good time with that movie, and it was just such a.
It was so colorful. I loved that.
Yeah. But really, like, I don't know. Let me look at my top 10 real quick. Yeah, nothing. I don't know. There was some like bigger blockbuster stuff that I had fun with, and it was fine. But I just feel like my top 5 was such a strong tier for me. Everything else failed to compare. Maybe that's a bad thing, but
it's great. A strong top 5 is. That's not. It can't be understated. That's cool.
Like I had a lot of like 7 to 8s, but I had like these strong 5. I was like 9 and above. Like, give me these every day.
Wait, Rossi, when you think of like, in Letterboxd you do the stars or whatever. If you did 4.5 stars, if you did 4.5 stars, would you call that a 9 or would you call it a 4.5?
That's why I hate ranking systems, rating systems, because like, a 4 out of 10.
It's the same thing.
I know, but like a 4 out of 5 seems good, but that's a B minus. That's bad.
That's
an
80. I don't think about it like that.
No, it's a 90.
Don't think about it on classroom sketch.
4 out of 5 is a 90.
4 out of 5 is 8 out of 10.
Oh, sorry, 4.5. I was still thinking about that.
Yeah, 90.
Sure.
I'm just really bad with rankings, and that's why I never use Letterboxd, and I probably should.
Rossi, when you do your reviews on the GoCast,
I just gave up putting scores because I was so sick of putting scores. I just put WTF out of 100 or let's go out of 100 or go see this out of 100 because at the end of the day, like, it's easier for me to like compare a movie to another movie, whereas I don't know. I have a hard time with actually giving rankings to movies, and I feel bad. Fair. I feel bad like telling people to watch certain movies, and they're like, "What the heck did I just watch?" I'm just like,
my nightmare.
You missed out.
I'm stronger though now for it.
I know. I think I've come to the point where I'm just going to tell people to watch movies, and if they don't like it, tough. They're not educated, maybe.
Ooh, let's go there.
I have I've only recommended a single person to watch Speed Racer. I like actually recommended it, and it was GoCast. So
I I loved the cartoon Speed Racer as a child. Like my dad is like huge into racing, so that was like part of my childhood. Was like that's an anime I watched, quote unquote. But I never saw the movie, and
it's one I would not. I get really scared recommending it to people. I think Abby, you probably understand where I'm coming from. Like I'm just generally scared to recommend movies.
Deeply.
It's got like the Spy Kids, like Uncanny Valley look to it, and I'm kind of out on that, unfortunately.
We'll rehabilitate you at some point, but
okay, deal.
That'll be in person.
But yeah, I don't really have any true honorable mentions. Just wanted to give a shout out to Eternity.
It is worth a shout out.
Yeah.
Abby?
Yeah, so I have two things. I have three, but one of them I'll save for the superlatives. The one that I almost had at number 5 that I was debating is I was like, I wanted to rewatch at least one of them or both of them before, but I just didn't end up getting to it. But number 5 was almost twinless, actually, which was the Sundance film with Dylan O'Brien. And the reason why I kept No Other Choice in is, like, No Other Choice I just really predict is going to age better than twinless on the second watch, but twinless was more electric in the movie theater. But it is very similar to Sorry Baby, where it's the same exact thing of written and directed and starring this guy named James Sweeney. And this movie was so fun. It starts and like honestly, like immediately I was like, I think this is just gonna be one of those like Sundance indie films that's like kind of like dramedy vibes that's just like not really gonna land. That's like promising, but like not gonna land. Dude.
It landed.
You've got no idea where this movie's going. And it's
Dylan O'Brien.
And he's insane. Like he plays twins, but like it's twinless. So basically it's these two guys that are in like a twinless support group. So it's people that are twins that have lost their twin. And so the twin that Dylan O'Brien plays is like very stoic, like very much like has like kind of anger issues, but is like definitely trying to hold it back and like doesn't know his emotions well and is very like kind of doesn't know how to express himself. And his brother was this like super flamboyant gay man who like knew how to like work a room. And so the first time it cuts to like a flashback where Dylan O'Brien is the other twin, I mean jaw on the floor. Like you were like, oh my god, the acting chops on this man to play like the polar opposite of who he's playing the whole movie. I mean, the ladies were gagged. We were in the movie theater like, and he's got that fun little mustache too, and we were like, oh my god.
Abby, was this the movie that made you get Reese to have a mustache, or is it unrelated?
I think that was the going into firefighting subconsciously took over,
Fair.
like the parasite that was like, you have to be a firefighter, you have to get a mustache.
You have to have facial hair, yeah.
But it does, I mean, hey, it didn't hurt it.
Maybe I should watch it. Maybe I should have my wife watch it. She's a fan of mustaches and Dylan O'Brien, so she would probably enjoy this movie.
It's literally for her.
Okay.
Like, y'all have to watch this movie. It's It's too good.
Abby, is this also with Eva Victor? Is this also his feature debut, or?
I think it is his directorial debut, or at least it's his first feature to like really make a splash.
Cool. That's really fun.
How do you rank the twin performances of Michael B. Jordan, Dylan O'Brien, and Robert Pattinson in Mickey 17?
Robert Pattinson.
Whoa.
Good call.
This was the year of the twin.
Twins, yeah.
Oh, what a good question. You know what? I nearly have to go Robert Pattinson did it the best because of how much I didn't like Mickey 17.
I know,
but I did think he was so phenomenal.
That's so fair.
My other honorable mention is It Was Just an Accident, which was the Iranian film that won the Palm this year. I had a fun little story with this movie. I drove all the way out to Denver to go see it. It was like a 4 p.m. screening. And I just really suck at parallel parking, so it took me a second. And I walked in at 4:18 thinking it's fine, and they hit me with a, hey, we like decided to close down the screening for cleaning. And so then I'm just...
nobody there?
Nobody is there. And I didn't buy my ticket ahead of time because I was like, no one's going to be there.
Sure.
And so we got cooked, but that was also the night that we were seeing No Other Choice. So we were like, what if we go after? And so I am a movie fall asleeper. I don't care. I'll do it. If it's like 9:30, it's all bets are off. And so Me and my roommate saw a 10 p.m. screening of It Was Just an Accident.
Wow.
Real
A slow
film heads.
That's like going to
Iranian
Harry
film.
Potter back in the day, like staying up late.
It was. I ordered a Red Bull and the Wicked cocktail at the Alamo Draft House.
That
The
is
Glinda or the Elphaba? Is it green or pink?
It was the green one,
Yeah.
which, if you got the ones at Chili's, that was not the safe choice.
No. Okay.
These are good
Yeah.
things to know. Did it?
Yeah.
You stayed awake through it all, though, assumingly that you're
I crushed it. My roommate asleep the whole
Wow.
time.
I've only
Snoring?
fallen asleep-
No, like thank
That's
God
good.
for her.
Dozing
But
that's good.
I think Dark Phoenix is the only movie I've ever fallen asleep at a theater to, and I don't regret it.
I fell asleep to Elvis, the Baz Luhrmann
Fire.
Elvis. I fell asleep 5 minutes into the movie.
I'm
Not
obsessed with
because it's a
that.
bad
I don't
film.
blame
I've heard
you.
it's a very good film,
No, it's bad.
but I've also heard it's a very loud film, so I'm not really sure how I fell asleep, but I did.
I fell asleep to Nosferatu last Christmas Day. And I woke up at the ending, which is, Nosferatu nutting in her and dying.
Yeah.
And so I was like
Am I asleep
waking
still?
up and I was just like really confused. And then my husband was like really mad at me because he's like, I hated that movie so much and now you didn't even watch any of it.
That's funny.
Alrighty, two great honorable mentions. Actually, well, yeah.
What are yours?
Okay, I had a few that. Okay, I'll
I think I
go
know
with.
one of them, but we'll see.
So, I'm gonna give first a shout out. This is not necessarily ordered, but first I'll give a shout out to F1. I saw it in
Yeah, it's
IMAX.
terrifying.
I have not revisited it. I probably don't plan to, and not because I think it was bad. I just think it was a movie that I saw in the biggest screen, loudest theater possible, and I think if I watched it on Apple TV, I'd just be like, "Oh, this
Would
movie
not
kind of
hit.
sucked." Actually, it's a, the stories paint by numbers, but like, there are a few parts of that movie, just like when it's so sonically crazy and you're going between the cars, and even like the crash scenes where I was just like, I couldn't even like breathe in the movie theater, which was really fun. But I don't know how, as a whole package, I don't know if the movie lives up fully, but it was a really fun blockbuster. Begonia, we already talked about it. I thought the performances were incredible. Movie really worked for me. Sentiment of Value, honestly, same thoughts there. Thought the performances were incredible. Movie really worked. We saw this in theaters, and I think it was worth it. It's a very beautifully crafted movie. Like the cinematography, they say like every frame is a painting kind of thing. I think this movie lived up to that, and it was funny, which was I was not expecting how funny it was.
Yeah, I did see that one, and it was me and one other lady, and that was it in the theaters, and I was so uncomfortable the whole time. She probably thought I was some weirdo, but for whatever reason, that one.
Why would you think
good.
you're a weirdo for seeing a movie?
I just felt like, I don't know. I just always feel weird. I go to the movies by myself more often than not, but certain movies I'm like, this is kind of weird.
I don't know if that classifies as one of them.
I don't know why. You had to be there, maybe.
Yeah, fair. Maybe she looked at you funny or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave that 9-year-old a piano teacher and she's like, and this sick guy would do it too.
He loves Irreversible. Okay, next would be
Number
Train
one?
Dreams. No, I'll still do honorable mentions. I got a few more.
I need to
Next
watch
was Train Dreams.
There's so many
It's a
movies I
beautiful
wanna
movie. Like truly crafted beautifully. There are like not many cuts in it, which not
I'm a
necessarily
sucker
is
for that. Yeah.
not inherently a good thing, but the movie is so slow and like intentional.
This is a Netflix film, right?
It is, which is bizarre. I really wish I would have been able
It
to see
got
this in
picked
a...
up at Sundance, but
Okay.
yeah.
Because I'm like, why is Frankenstein like the Netflix movie this year, not Train Dreams? Because from what I'm hearing, Train Dreams seems to be a much better movie. But I don't want to get into I don't know all the details of this decision-making process.
Yeah.
But maybe
It's
if you do, you can educate me.
Yeah, Abby, do you know?
Yeah, I
Do
can
you
weigh
know
in.
Inside Baseball?
I do know Inside Baseball. So what happened was Netflix had 3 heavy hitters. It had Jay Kelly, House of Dynamite, and Frankenstein that were going to all the fall festivals. And it had picked up Train Dreams at Sundance, and I think it just thought it was like a fun little indie, and they didn't really push it. So like at these film festivals, they don't even, the only one that they brought it back to was New York. And so that's like all of these distributing companies for the fall festivals, if they're wanting your movie to be seen and up for stuff, like A24 had a really open slate with Marty Supreme. They didn't have anything else. So they brought If I Had Legs I'd Kick You to like every single festival trying to push Rose Byrne. And so they only ended up bringing it to New York, but then they watched as Jay Kelly crumbled and House of Dynamite crumbled, and then Frankenstein was like their best prospect. But then Train Dreams releases on Netflix, and all of a sudden it's like getting a bunch of hype, bunch of momentum. Lots of people are seeing it, and so they've now had to last minute pivot their campaign and have that as their number 2 film for them to push. They just weren't with it. Like they just were on the audience reactions.
Dang. Yeah, Jay Kelly I thought stunk, but that's
it doesn't hold a candle to Train
Train
Dreams for me. And they explore kind of similar themes, which is you don't want to put them side by side. One of them doesn't live up as well as the other.
That's not your double feature award winner.
Dude, if we did Parents double feature, it'd have to be like a 10x feature from this year. No, Train Dreams is beautiful. I live in Colorado, so I get to experience a lot of nature, and so there was parts of that kind of also hit home as well. Like just I do not live the similar life to our friend the logger, but I think a lot of it worked for me.
Where he logs, you're a juggler, and it's kind of like the same
Yes.
journey. Keep in mind, I've never seen this movie, but
I would not
so
compare the
cooked.
rigor of the logging to the rigor of the juggling.
I think we should.
who's the Penn Jillette of the logging community?
Yeah, that's a
Paul
great question.
Yeah, that's what I was going
Paul
to say.
Bunyan. Yeah, they're both tall. On the parent theme, I'm going to do this more in superlatives, but I just want to mention it here. If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, I thought it was awesome. And these were the 2 movies that nearly took number 5 from Roofman. There were Weapons and Eddington. I also plan to talk about. You covered Weapons. I think you covered it well. It was very fun, and I want more movies like that. And then Eddington, I'll cover more in superlatives. But Eddington was my most. I could not recommend that to anyone this year. It's just. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
need to rewatch it. I think
it's a needly watch. There's a lot of places to get tripped up where you're just like, this movie stopped working.
Yeah,
and I think that's fine.
Somebody put it to me that it was the best use of Pedro Pascal like in a really long time, and I think that holds true. I think he's kind of just forced into movies because he's Pedro Pascal, and I think he was actually legitimately good in that movie. So I do want to watch that again.
I think Eddington was fantastic.
And I don't love Ari Aster, but it worked for that movie.
Yeah. I'll talk about it more later, but I guess a little quick drum roll. Rossi, what was your number 1 movie of the year?
The Housemaid is my number 1 movie of the Marty Supreme. Obviously, I've talked about it forever.
That's sick.
Maybe I'm just like part of the marketing campaign. I don't know, but there was something about it just worked. We talked about every little detail of it. I love that it wasn't just the cast going on Hot Ones and going on the Tonight Show and promoting it. They were doing weird stuff.
Going on Field Guide and Podcast Network.
Yeah, the Marty Supreme jackets. Like, give me one of those ASAP. You see, like, Anthony Edwards rocking one, Tom Brady
and Michael
rocking
Phelps
one.
and Susan Boyle. Yeah.
Yeah, the Susan Boyle thing. Just hashtag dream big. I don't know what else there is to say, but I love that
Rossi,
movie.
where was the moment in the movie where you were officially sold? Like, where you were like, all right, this is
honestly, the opening credits caught me off guard, and I was like, yeah,
cool.
They're doing something,
Bro.
And but for real, like the transition of that happening to the ping pong ball rotating and then him playing ping pong was so sweet. I was like, all right, they're doing something here. And the music, Forever Young. I saw the clip of him like teaching the kids like kind of say it with he's like say it with like a lisp, like forever, and I don't know, it worked. The music was awesome, and that's what has lingered with me the longest for whatever reason, and that's what I think about the most of all these movies. So that's why, and obviously it's recency bias, but
that's okay.
I'm a sucker for
movies
it.
are meant to be fun, and if we've seen them recently and had fun with it, that's a good reason to love it.
Exactly. So that's all I'll say about that. Go see it.
Go see Marty Supreme. Yeah. Abby?
All right. My number 1 is Sentimental Value.
Okay.
Yeah, I got cooked. Um, it's funny because we're talking about things as like 2025 movies, and like Sentimental Value was a 2025 movie for me, like interpersonally, but like not like culturally. Like even like there were two songs, like that last song that they play in the movie, that last needle drop. I've been bumping that song all year, and so when that dropped, I'm already like in tears, and I'm just like, "Are you kidding me? This movie was made for me." But yeah, the opening montage with the house, unexpectedly, like I'm not like an easy movie crier at all, and like the tears just like hit my eyes. They wouldn't fall, and they kind of just like in and out held there the whole movie till that like final catharsis, and it was just magical. And I'm a big fan of Joachim Trier's previous work, so I was like kind of just primed and ready to go. And kind of like ever since COVID, there's been like a lot of family houses that like that's where we spent all of our holidays, and then COVID happened and just everyone's family plans like changed and we stopped going, and all of these houses have now been sold, and I never had like a parting with it. And so for it to like even like have the house as like the central thing, like the last house that I was like kind of hanging on to was like unexpectedly sold this year, and I'm like I couldn't like go back, and I was like, all right, so I'm cooked. This is my favorite movie of the year. Like, how dare you?
The way they used like the house as like a character almost in the movie, I thought was really well done and unique, and I did enjoy that part of it. But the rest, I don't know, it just didn't stick with me for whatever reason. But I can respect and understand why it would with you. So I was assuming it was going to be on people's top 5 for sure.
I do think it's a movie that it's not that it doesn't work for any. I haven't really heard anybody say this just like didn't work for me. I think it just really, really works for the people it works for. I think Gracie, my wife, is very similar. I mean, this movie really, really worked for her. I think it's a good note. I wish I had mentioned it even. The house bookends of the first montage and then the end scene where it is not the house, but the themes of the house and what it means to those people, and they're using it in the movie, which is also wraps up the whole father-daughter relationship between them the whole time, as he's trying to use it for the movie and she's trying to explain to him the things that have impacted her about his life as a director. It's a super well-crafted movie, and I love that it touched you in those ways, Abby.
It did.
I can never pronounce her last name, Renee, or
I think it's like I think I also said it wrong, like Renata Reinsva or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But the movie, was it last year? What was it called? What am I thinking?
Worst Person in the World? Or Different Man?
Was that last year? Worst
Person in the World was 2021.
Oh, was that long ago? Okay. I watched it. Maybe I watched it last year and I was blown away by it. So that's why I was excited for this one. She's like due for something. She's got to be.
Dude,
she's amazing.
Please.
Yeah.
And Stellan Skarsgård, he's always great.
I think the Elle Fanning performance was one of my like maybe more unexpected but favorite casting decisions, because I think I got it like without at the risk of sounding kind of negative. I don't like Elle Fanning in a lot of the movies that she's in, and so her role in this movie is like I might just not be a Fanning guy, unfortunately. Sorry, Dakota.
Okay.
But her role in this movie as being like the really earnest star who is kind of not clicking, I thought it really worked. So just
she's like a good actress who has to pretend like she can't act at all.
Yeah.
I have no idea what match number 1 is going to be.
I do. I'm locked and loaded.
Yeah, Abby knows my letterbox better than I know my letterbox, I think, which is very. I appreciate that you care. Okay, this was going to be my number 2, but I think there's enough reasons for me to put it in number 1, and it is the Knives Out movie, Wake Up Dead Man.
Really?
Okay. Yes. Okay, so I'll start with like, I think formally, like the actual like filmmaking parts of it, the movie really is like just as good as any of the great movies of this year. Like the cinematography and the acting and just some of the things they're doing with the shots and like the stained glass or the lighting.
The perfect setting for this movie.
Yeah, all of that, I think it is. All of that holds up to however much scrutiny you want to put on it. I've heard the criticism that the mystery or like the use of the additional characters isn't as strong as some of the other Knives Out, and I think that those things are kind of reasonable. Like, I think the extra cast is like bigger in like Glass Onion or even the original Knives Out, and I get that, but for me, this was probably the most personal movie or personally impactful movie of the year. Kind of similar to what you were talking about with Sentimental Value, Abby. Like this movie just really worked for me. The Father Judd character the Josh O'Connor performance, and also just the writing of the character is one of the most, I think, touching things I've seen on screen. I am a person of faith and a Christian, and I want to make sure I say this right. I've become increasingly frustrated with those who use religion and specifically Christianity, speaking as an American, as like a tool of power and like to put that on, to say like you need to do this a certain way and it needs to be right, and it's more about being right and acting as a quote unquote Christian than it is about your relationship with your faith, or specifically what I would say are the key tenets of the Christian faith, which are things like grace and loving others. And I think it is unbelievable how that came through in this movie, where it is a whodunit, like a stylized whodunit, with some crazy performances at the center of it from Daniel Craig and all the extra people. Like just there, like a good example of this is that one scene that I'm sure everybody's talked about and watched, where
The phone call.
Father Judd, they're they're trying to find like a specific jewel. I think it is. I think that's what they're trying to find. And he at one point,
church,
and he kind of smashes a little Jesus figure, and then in that moment, he is calling the construction company that had put the grave or the crypt on site, and she basically is like, "Father, will you pray for me?" And the whole movie just like slows down to a halt.
Yeah.
And I Abby, what you had said about the start of Sentimental Value, this was the exact same experience for me, crying. Like, wasn't like bawling, but I was just like, I was so moved by his slowing down and remembering that like he's not solving this mystery for himself, that his purpose as a priest and as a life as a priest is to take time with people, to love them, to meet them where they're at, and not just like beat them, because that's the whole thing that he's trying to get away from with the Monsignor. And that's like his purpose. And all that said, the themes were just like, I thought it was just beautiful. And again, very personal. I understand if someone is not a person of faith, or even if they don't have those same beefs with people in the Christian world, like if some of this stuff doesn't really work with them, but it's just such a kind movie. It's such like an empathetic movie. And a lot of that is credit to Josh O'Connor and the script. And then like on top of that, it is a really fun whodunit. And the fact that they use the mystery of faith to be the answer to the whodunit was really cool. This is a movie I think I've thought about the most since I watched it. And I was just, I was stunned by it. And it was really fun. So that's my number one.
Worded it perfectly. I think for me, it was the same. My wife's aunt, she's a theology teacher. She's very Catholic. And I was like, after I saw this movie, like, I agree with you. Like this, like really worked for me. I thought it presented the idea of faith like perfectly with Josh O'Connor's character. And I was just curious kind of like her thoughts on it after the fact. Cause I feel like whenever any movie kind of tackles the religion aspect, like some people are going to get upset about it. Some might not. And she kind of agreed that like it did a really good job at like expressing that. And to me, that was like, that said a lot about the movie in general, that they were able to do that for a variety of people that can relate to it and can take what they want out of religion or their faith. And like, I don't know, you said it perfectly. I don't want to mess up your word, but I think a lot of people wanted just some more like goofy Daniel Craig murder mystery whodunit stuff.
Totally fine.
But this was definitely the best. I don't know. I like the first one the most of the three Knives Out movies, but this was like the best movie of all of them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think I'm a huge whodunit fan already. Yeah. And so there's a lot of the Knives Out, I think, is the most like pure whodunit. The Glass Onion is kind of a fun little romp. Maybe my least favorite of the three, probably. Yeah, for sure. And I think you're right. This is deep is kind of like it's kind of an ugly word, but this was like the deepest of all three movies. And so to have that in a whodunit, which is still it's still like still a love letter to all the old whodunits that I love to read, and Daniel Craig, Benoit Blanc is still like a mythic figure, but then at the end has to like rescind his mystical and is just like, I give it up to the mystery of faith, and that's what actually solves the whodunit because Glenn Close's character, the lady, confesses. Like, it was just so well done to me, and I loved it. And I don't know if I'll rewatch it as much as I rewatched Sinners. I probably won't, but this movie has really stuck with me. So
I think I wanted more Andrew Scott. I think that was a big thing for me. That I
think
wanted.
that's fair.
Yeah,
You
I
and me
think
both,
all of them.
man.
Kerry Washington.
even
a little more Jeremy Renner
The
couldn't have
extra
hurt.
cast was a little underutilized.
I was okay with the Jeremy Renner.
And
that we
the
got.
fact that she threw a body into like a pit of acid or whatever.
Well, and right before that, he's on the stairs. That was one of the bigger laughs I've had this year.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me rant about it. Yeah.
The movie stuck with me in the same regard, but I haven't been able to put that like to words, and I think you did it really well. And I hope people kind of feel the same.
I'll give a lot of credit. There was a Letterboxd review. The user's name is H. Coley, and my friend sent it to me. Who we had my friend Gracie. Friend Gracie had a similar experience with the movie. We saw it together, and so I'll give a lot of shout outs. Some of the words I was using were pulled from that.
Reading it from verbatim.
I was just reading it. No,
Wow.
but it's helped. It was a hard movie to put into a hard thing to put into words.
I feel bad. You guys have like this not to use a worse word, sentimental reason towards both of these movies, and I'm just like, Timmy Chalamet's the man.
He's
And
like, the
he
marketing worked on me.
Yeah, I am a pig or a sheep to the
sperm to
scheme,
ping pong ball.
And you guys are all like moved emotionally, and I'm just like, sick.
It's rare. Last year, I did not have a movie that moved me like this, and so it's not every year. So yeah.
No,
Abby, any Wake Up Dead Man thoughts? I think you saw it.
Yeah, I did see it. I really liked it. I think it is my favorite of the three. I think like sometimes like genre films, it's hard for me to like be able to appreciate what they're doing off the cuff. However, the camera work on this one, I was obsessed. Like that
It's pretty
sequence where he's like blacking out and like about to punch.
That is crazy.
Oh my god, it was so compelling. And also Josh O'Connor is just like incredibly compelling, and I was having like an absolute blast with it. And also like I think I was worried for it because like Glass Onion has some of my least favorite humor, which is just get the reference, haha, it's funny. Where it's like it's not funny.
Oh, they're
it's
playing
just
Among
like,
Us.
Yeah, they're playing. Yeah, no, like
Forgot about
literally, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so stupid. So I was kind of like a little bit on the guard of like it's gonna have humor that's gonna really annoy me.
The Jeremy Renner hot sauce.
The Jeremy Renner hot sauce. Yep, quite literally. But it didn't, and I actually thought it was really well written, and I thought it was really compelling. And I think that I want to rewatch it because I definitely went into it with the expectations of it being a Knives Out movie, so I was disappointed when the ensemble wasn't used as much.
Yeah.
But going into the movie, having seen it and having proper expectations and seeing it more as a dialed in character piece about faith with like whodunit components, I think it would land even more. But I still like had a blast and I really loved it.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I expected it not to be that at all, and that's what it was. But
I think I think that's super reasonable. But like I even said at the start, a genre film that is like a Trojan horse for something deeper is like my favorite movie. So this is just in kind of.
And also just give me one of these movies like every other year, even if they're like a 6 out of 10. I don't care. I just want it all.
100%.
Yes.
Let Ryan Johnson cook.
If we get 100 Knives Out movies, I will not be upset.
My favorite's gonna be 76. I know it.
It's like the 21 Jump Street bit. Like at the end of 22 Jump Street, and they just keep going. That's what I want from this.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna do recaps of everybody's list. Actually, I'll let y'all do a recap of y'all's list, and then I did while we were talking a consolidated list.
Nice.
And we can see if there are any quibbles with it. But
Fire.
My list went Roofman, One Battle, Marty Supreme, Sinners, Wake Up Dead Man. Abby, what was yours?
Mine goes No Other Choice, Sorry Baby, One Battle After Another, Marty Supreme, and Sentimental Value.
And I got Sinners, Weapons, Begonia, One Battle, Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme. Alrighty, so this is I was trying to combine like our favorite.
Averages.
Like it's not perfect, but it's like if a movie appeared on multiple lists, that was a big bump. So there's 11 movies here. At 11, I put Eddington. I know it didn't make a list, but we talked about it enough.
It's fair.
So it's making
Fair.
the list. 10 was Roofman. At 9 was No Other Choice. At 8 was Sorry Baby. At 7 was Weapons. 6, Begonia. 5, Wake Up Dead Man. 4, Sinners. 3, Sentimental Value. 2, One Battle. And 1 was Marty Supreme. That was our
Marty
highest kind of
Supreme.
combined.
Good list.
That was our highest combined number.
First One Battle wasn't higher. Or I thought it'd be 1.
Yeah. I think you had you and
you
I
had
both.
One Battle at 4.
We
right?
all had Marty one spot over One Battle
That's
after
right.
another.
That's right.
So
Wow.
yeah. So
We're all
truly
prisoners
is-
of the
he truly is
moment.
supreme.
Lock us up.
Supreme. Any quibbles with that list? I will make a graphic or something and post it.
No,
Any,
just encouraging me to watch. I thought I saw a lot of movies. I didn't see half the movies I needed to see. So shame on me for not doing my homework. I'm just a normie that watches Fantastic Four.
Hey, but it doesn't age well, so it's all good.
Somebody's got to tell you.
Exactly. All right, we've been recording for 2 hours. This has been awesome, and we'll probably use the Field Guide channel for more stuff like this. Kind of, I don't know, assorted entertainment discussions that don't have a necessary home. But this was great.
I'd be curious to hear some other Field Guide members' thoughts on their favorite movie of the year too. Maybe we can do a quick little bang. What's your favorite movie?
some
Bang,
shorts.
what's your favorite movie.
That'd be fun. Cool. Well, follow us here, YouTube, Instagram, wherever. Follow Aspect Radio, Goatcast, Onside, and we'll see you guys soon. Happy New Year.
See you guys.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
GG.